progress.
Welcome, everyone. We're going to allow everybody an extra 5 minutes to get in. Welcome, everyone. We're just going to be giving another 3 minutes to allow everybody to get in.
Recording in progress.
Sorry about that, everyone. Try to log in to a device to the main account. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much. I don't know if you can do a raise hand to show me that you're all hearing me. Is that possible? I see some people saying hi in the chats. Do you have the raise hand option on your screens? And maybe respond in the chats if you don't. I am just doing a little test out here of what features we have accessible to us. All right. I have 19 people in here. Okay, I see a raised hand. Okay, the raised hands are coming up. Yes, wonderful. I'm starting to see the raised hands. Okay. So we're going to be using this as our way to communicate, as even though we have a pro account, I am accessing from a device that doesn't allow me access to all of the pro features, unfortunately. So I saw the response of about 6 persons, and I assume the rest who didn't manage, are they having any issues? If you have any issues, please type it in the chat right now. We would want to do our election starting it no later than, or get the meeting underway no later than 5:30. Based on how the time is running now, it's almost 5:20. And I just want to try to get as much persons in as possible. I see I have 19 persons in the meeting, and welcome to all of you, and thank you for taking your time, okay, to come in. All right. So welcome all. And if you want to unmute, you are allowed to unmute yourself to say something. So I want to firstly thank the first 19 persons that got out here early. I am Marla Betton, class of 1999, your treasurer and acting president. And I see a lot of members from the executive. If the members from the executive could unmute themselves and greet the group, please. I'll call out. So I'll call out in order of what I have in my list here, starting with Caitlin.
Hello. I missed the first part. I only heard my name. Sorry.
Yes, I was asking members of the exec to introduce themselves.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is, I can turn on my video so you can see my face. Yes, I'm Caitlin Williams Beecher, and I am one of the current PROs.
Okay. All right. Next, we have Roseanne.
Hi, I'm Roseanne. I'm currently on the executive body, and I assist with activities and things of that nature.
All right, thank you. And next we have Kadeen Henry.
Good evening, everyone. I am Kadeen Henry. I also assist with activities. Thank you.
Caroline Allison.
Hello, everyone. I'm actually driving. I'm Carlene, class of 2001, and I'm on the exec with planning events.
All right. Our star for today, Yannick Parks. Come, Yannick. All right. Yannick not responding so far. I think Yannick is the last member of the exec I see on the list. So Yannick was the one that was able to attend our church service today in Brownstown and represent for the alums. And I hope some of you are on our WhatsApp. Oh, Yannick is in the chat saying good evening, sisters. Her mic is not opening. All right. So this is the general what we have of the exec today, and our outgoing president is Shanice Todd, and she has a message. That's what we're going to be playing coming up soon. But to just bring out the evening now that we have 21 persons, I think I'm going to just go ahead and share from my presentation. Let me see if I can. Let's see this. All right. Okay, so welcome, ladies. I hope you're still all hearing me. If somebody can unmute and just tell me that you're all hearing me.
Hearing you.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful. And so we're going to start out with our school hymn. So I think some of us remember these words. So I don't have the audio, but I am going to try my best to sing. Starting now, and I would love if you all unmute your mics and join so you can drown out my bad singing, okay? All right, so we're gonna start. Oh God, creator of
For I
now intense, oh Jesus, give to pray. Oh, Spirit to pilgrim climb heavenward, blessed Trinity, we every day hearing our
hillsides full we feel
thy presence in starlight, dawn, and sunset. Thou art near. Oh, may
the
thy
earthly glory lead us on.
onward, or shining eyes lit up by vision there.
We
Continue.
care not for the love of worldly pleasures. We shall go forth as pilgrims and on shore. The city which has true foundation claims us, whose builder and whose maker is our God.
And
we
within
and do and grave endeavors and rest so verum guardian saints.
May we skipped one whole one.
Exactly. We did. I know.
In girlhood days.
Okay, we messed up at the end. I hope we'll try to sing this at the end of the meeting, and hopefully some of the older old girls that know all of the verses will help us through. Okay, so this is a good spirited way to get us all started. Today we are here for love of our alma mater of St. Hilda's, and we basically are all here to share in this group, which has so much meaning for us.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you're
So that is our message from our presidents. I think there's somebody who is locked out. I let them in.
like to say
I'm gonna let them in, and then I'm gonna play the message from Shanice. Okay. So, were you hearing her message a while ago when it was playing? I want
Yes,
somebody
but
on mute. Yes?
yes, I was. Yeah, I was.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so I think I admitted the other participants were locked. So far we've just sang the school hymn and we're going to listen to our outgoing president's message.
good afternoon, everyone. I hope that you're safe and I hope that you're doing well. As the outgoing president, I would like to say a few words. Let this picture wash over you. It never grows old. You see, it brings back so many memories. While I was searching last week on the internet for Spirit Week activities, I came across Latoya Gail Campbell's post, a blog actually, that was shared in June 2012. And she had these words: society begins in our schools, villages raise children, and the church provides faith and sustenance. Together, these facets shape who we are, and this determines where we go from here. I pray that this is what our children grow up to see, because it definitely has worked for us. Yes, look at us now. We're living our dream, or living in a world we didn't dream of. Yet we are living. But we can do more than just live. We can grow and thrive, not strive. And we do this by giving of ourselves, our time, our resources, skills, and memories. And of course, taking care of ourselves. I feel so proud when I wear my purple mask or use my dashing branded pen. And that's because it's important to be a part of something and it makes you feel good. The bigger the something, the better the feeling. Maslow realized that cooperation and group relationships led to an increased level of survival, and he placed belongingness just above physiological and safety need in his hierarchy of needs. To those listening on, you are not alone. We are all busy. But just too busy is a myth. Make small intentional steps towards your goals and remember our motto. I appreciate the support, local and abroad, the personal flowers, the visits, the words of encouragement, the comments shared for the team. The relationship that the team and I have experienced is one to write about. I witnessed selflessness, creativity, time blocking. Good afternoon, everyone.
I believe that's the end of the message, everyone. So that's our message from Shanice, and our next item for today will be our nominations. So the main objective of this meeting, after a few of you got to meet the exec that is currently here, is to elect the new executive that will take on our work. And a few of the members that are currently on the executive wish to continue, and we will continue with them. So our main aim today is to elect president, vice president, secretary, assistant secretary, treasurer, assistant treasurer, a student relations officer, and an assistant in that area, a PRO, creative coordinator, and an assistant in that area, and also a fundraising coordinator and their assistant. Basically, I have a simple plan in mind for the election. All persons who would want to be a president would definitely be comfortable in the post of vice president, because the vice president has to do the jobs of the president if the president is not available. So if we have two persons, the person with the most votes gets the president post, and the person that came second is the vice president. If it's a case where we have more than two, then we can ask the person who came that didn't fall into the top two, which committee they would like to add their name to if they didn't already put their name in there for something else. So right now, I would like in the chat, if any, and all the persons that are listening now, if you have any nominations to put up for president, vice president, secretary. And then I'm also going to ask, well, since I was in the post of vice president, I'm going to explain to you what the role involves. And then I'm going to ask each committee member that was involved in each activity to actually explain their position. So as president, vice president, I was in the acting president role. It involves coordinating with all the members of the committee, organizing meetings in liaison with the secretary and all other members of the group. It involves trying team building skills and good listening skills. And whoever gets that position will definitely get support from Shanice in the transitionary period. And Shanice will be along their side the entire way to guide them through the process. In terms of treasurer is in charge of notifying about dues, sending out receipts for dues, and keeping records of that, an assistant treasurer. So I'm looking out for in the chats for persons to be putting up who they feel. So in the meanwhile, Caitlin, could you explain about PRO and fundraising, please?
Okay, so the PROs are, yes, the PROs are responsible for, as it says, public relations. So everything that has to do with making announcements for the various activities that we have as an alumni, keeping persons up to date as to what is going on, as well as doing the social media posts. And just basically, we are responsible for just keeping the alumni informed through the various media and fora that we use. Definitely, we need some persons with some creative genes to, utilize the Canva, and those who are very social media savvy. I tried, but I apologize, guys. I'm not very social media savvy as I thought I was.
And this, even though these are headings, remember,
there are committees.
There are committees that will support you, and you kind of have to learn to fit in for everything, because as president, right, I have my infamous Instagram injury from December 2020 when I was doing the Christmas posts, being on Instagram, posting multiple times, and it takes a lot of wrist power. But so it's and I think it is definitely a learning experience, because I'm here opening up Canva thanks to Shanice. She taught us this. This is Shanice's pro account, which she linked the alumni onto. So we're learning every day how to do more and more things and much more effectively. The student relation officer is something new that we started, where we would liaison with the students at the school to bridge the gap with the guidance department to see how we can help students individually. And this is where we started with the phone cards and the tablet drive So the student relation officer would work very closely with the school and the guidance department. You don't have to actually physically be in Brownstone because, of course, a lot of remote learning is you just have to have WhatsApp and or email and good conversational skills to be able to reach out to the teacher, the guidance department, and just keep tabs back to the team. The secretary and assistant secretary is the most important role that everybody seemed to have shied away from, which is helping with the record keeping and minutes for the meetings. Luckily, technology has assisted greatly. For example, this meeting is being recorded, so therefore minutes are much easier to make note of, and we have been archiving a lot of our information in Dropbox and in our Google account, so therefore everything is easily accessible with access to the password. So this is not something that you have to like create from scratch. Everything we do have a great foundation of resources to assist. And fundraising coordinator, who would like to speak about that from the exec? My former exec members are all hesitant.
Yes, sorry, I will speak on that from what I've understood with what we have been doing. That the fundraising coordinator is basically in charge of, well, as it says, fundraising. So coming up with ideas and spearheading whatever activities we can or will put together in order to generate funds to support the activities of the alumni. So whether it is that, as Marla was saying before, we're doing phone cards to some of the students who had difficulty with, affording data to go to the online classes. So different fundraising ideas where we could generate as much cash and income as possible outside of the dues that we are supposed to give on a yearly basis, that we can finance whatever activities may come up, or there may be a particular activity that comes up that's not in our general plans for the year, for which we may need additional funds and support, whether through sponsorship or us doing some form of activity. So the fundraising coordinator would be in charge of spearheading all of that. Did I cover it all, Mala?
Yes, you did. And
Give
of
me a
course,
second, Isaiah.
yes.
Sorry.
No, go
Mommy
ahead.
duties. No, mommy duties, sorry.
Okay. All right. And obviously in the past 2 years with the pandemic, it has been a little bit harder to do the fundraising activities we'd hoped. For example, having in-person tea party, having going out to the church services and actually selling things because of all of the restrictions. So going into this new phase of the pandemic with majority of persons getting vaccinated and, persons being more aware of how to protect themselves, we can see that we can start having in-person activities in various areas. Okay, so I'm going to close the presentation for a minute and go, not for voting as yet, we're still at nominations. So I'm going to the chat on my screen. I'm gonna
You were nominated
right
for
now.
president, Mala.
Huh?
You were nominated for president. That's what I've seen in the chat so far.
May I ask a question?
Go ahead, Roseanne.
Well, number one, Marla, am I mistaken in my understanding that you are not seeking to be president?
Well, nominations are open, but I was knowing that I was probably going to still be treasurer, but
Okay.
I am not against it. I would say, oh gosh, president. I want more people on the team, people. Christina, I see you over there smiling,
Okay, may I know two people?
Christine Walcott. She's there grinning, and she's my neighbor, so I know where she lives. So I will return it and grab her out.
Well, we nominated you.
Okay.
I could work in the area that you're about to give up.
You do work in okay, so you want treasurer? Yes, please, we need help with treasurer. because we do definitely need some overall of that system. I want, since we're mentioning treasury right now, currently I just want to make a big note that the Asha Foundation donated in April $50,000 towards our alumni group, and they are friends of the alumni, not even past students. And I was really grateful to them. I actually haven't sent out the official because I this is how bad a treasurer I was in terms of I did not see that transaction until recently because of my not checking the banking records every day. But currently we have over $93,000 in our bank accounts, thanks to dues and donations from many alums abroad. And we definitely want to encourage persons to, once we establish a new exec, try to encourage persons to put out their dues, because we're going to have to devise a new way to receive dues. I'm seeing messages in the chats. I only see a nomination for president. So, oh yes, thank you, Roseanne. Is that that's Caitlin. See that, Christopher Beecher. Yes, thank you. I'm really glad that you're using your technology.
I think it's
My
a bit easier.
yes, thank you. We have to improvise because honestly, we have a pro account, and I had all of this in this lovely thing called polls, but my computer is not allowing me to launch it, and that's how it goes. So we just have to try next time. So we need more nominations in the president role. Gonna come take some people out of their comfort zone. All right. Uh, has Janice Garrell reached the meeting as yet? Let me see if my participants.
How are you feeling, Sam, so far?
All right, Rakisha.
One second for her. You can skip.
Rakisha, newbie. What year did you graduate? Just say hi. I'm just trying to take people out of their comfort zone in the meeting because it's a small group of 25. We can have a talk.
Good afternoon, everyone. I graduated in 2009.
Wonderful. And are you interested in any position in the executive?
No, not positions per se, but I'll be happy to support in events coordinating our activities, but not a position per se.
Well, that gets you on the executive committee if you're interested. So you're going to get under PRO. So let's put down Rakisha Newby on the PRO. If somebody else gets outvoted, then you won't have to hold the position, but we just want more persons to hold seats to work with us, okay?
Just want to also
How is the Rakisha spelled?
You know, having read the script, you have
RACKEISHA.
Okay. RACKEISHA. Yes. Thank you so much, Rakisha. All right.
Hello.
All right. I'm going to go for Fabian. Hi, Fabian.
Hello, Mona.
Hi. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank
What year
you.
did you graduate?
1996.
Okay. And which area are you interested in?
That is a tough ask at the minute. Because we're on 2 different time zones. So.
Oh no, where are you located now?
United Kingdom.
Okay. Oh, that is a stretch. But we can look out for you to support us in any way possible, right? and
Most
maybe
definitely.
establish a UK alumni branch, right?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for staying up late with us and coming out. Thank you,
Okay.
Faith. All right. I'm moving on to Miss Patricia Mumby Layla. All right.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mrs. Layla.
Yes, I missed what you said in the last part.
I was just as since we have a couple minutes and we have a few participants, I was
Yes.
just gonna ask persons to introduce themselves, and if they were interested in a committee, we could take them out of just volunteering in the chats because we need persons for president, secretary, treasurer, PRO. We also need somebody for a student coordinator. And I think the student liaison officer. Student liaison officer is one of them. Caitlin, you could type that one in. Student liaison officer is one of them that you don't really have to, you just have to get in touch with the guidance counselor and keep tabs, on a monthly basis with what's going on and what the school needs and how we can help. Ah, look there, Caitlin put on herself. Yay. And also Katie Henry has been nominated also. Wonderful for that team. I want to keep some of my current execs. Yes. Is Katie in the meeting? Oh, yes, she is. Yes, she is. So, Miss Layla, which year did you leave?
1996.
Yes. You have company the meeting. And
Fabian.
are you able? Yes, you're in St. Anne. Is there anybody?
Hi.
Is there anybody, any position you think you could do?
Not at this time.
I know you're very, very busy.
Very busy, yes.
Head of a bank. You're still at the credit union, right?
No, actually, my sister works at the credit union.
Okay, your sister. Okay, you are?
I work at the Ministry of Education in Montreal.
Oh, yes, yes. Yes.
Not at this time. I'll continue to support.
Okay, then, but we can always look out for your assistance, all right? So I'm so glad that because I see you make it to our meetings consistently, and I'm really grateful for that.
Okay, yes.
All right, so I'm moving on. Next person, Michaela Grant.
Good evening, ladies. I'm Michaela from the class of 2014. I'm not interested in a role at this time, but I'm definitely interested in learning more about this committee or the alumni and what we do, and definitely happy to support where I can.
Okay, thank you. And where are you based? And again?
Kingston.
Okay, like a majority of us, I'm in Kingston also.
Okay, that's nice.
Yes. All right, so moving on down my list here. Oops. All right, somebody volunteer to introduce themselves, please.
Hi, good evening. Let me volunteer. I am Rochelle Williams. I am from the class of 2006. I actually just popped into this meeting to see what's going on, my first meeting. And I'm just here observing pretty much to see perhaps in the future near I can become an active member, but right now I'm just an observer.
Okay. we're grateful for your observing and attending and taking the time to attend the meeting. And please do give us feedback via email in any way you think you can participate or assist. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And I see Shanice has made it in. Shanice, we played your meeting, your recording already, and everyone is so impressed by the level of work you do, and we're very, very grateful for having you here able to join. You'd like to go ahead and say something to everyone while we continue to fill out the nominations?
Good evening again. I'm so sorry to be late. Trust me, it's just I'm just glad I made it. I had
Oh,
other
I'm so sorry. The volume is so low. I'm going to mute myself. Shanice, can you go ahead again? Okay, I'm seeing in the chat, she says she's sorry, she's her connection is kind of bad. Her and apologies for being late. She hope the connection doesn't fail. So she's here and hearing as much as she can. So we're gonna continue with introducing ourselves. I'm gonna start down. I see the last person I just admitted, Jacqueline Nielsen. Nelson, are you able to speak? Okay. Trying to. For fundraising, it's so important that we need somebody with any experience with fundraising. Please, can anybody with any fundraising experience volunteer? It takes a lot to coordinate and get persons to move, to contribute towards worthy causes. This can be a great avenue to explore your skills, and it would bring a lot of support in fundraising to the school. So for fundraising coordinator, any volunteers, please. Nelly Ann, I see your message. Okay. you'd like to be considered for the role of PRO, Creative Coordinator. So we have another person here, Nellie Ann Scott. Ney. Okay, yes. Please bear with me and the bad pronunciations. If you can introduce yourself, Miss Scott. Neely. Neely?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nelian or Nelian Scott. I graduated from the class of 2016. Yes, it's both pronunciations. It sounds weird, but don't ask me, ask my parents. But it's both pronunciations.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I'm also seeing Carlene Williams Allison saying she'll work along with the coordinator.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Under that, that's the fundraising one.
I think so, but I know Kadeen had said in the chat that she doesn't want to do the role of secretary.
Mm-hmm.
I would be willing to help out whoever is the secretary or the assistant secretary, but I don't know if I would be able to attend every meeting. And so I wouldn't want to be a primary, but do.
Luckily for you, you don't have to attend every meeting because we just send the Zoom recordings to you after.
Okay.
And that's your
well,
own time.
in any event, I would want to be a primary.
And that's your, yes. So I see here, Roseanne is trying to.
I want to be some kind of a helper to the people who are the secretaries, but I know
yes.
It's a
All
role.
right. So put down Roseanne on the secretary, please.
It's a role that needs to be filled. So I will stand in till the real people are selected for the role, because I don't want to take on something and not do it well. And I don't know if I can do it to the level that it needs to be done.
And then Carlene Allison says she wants to be on the PRO Creative Coordinator. She wants to be on that team. Uh-huh.
Can you just put Roseanne as like helper to the secretaries? Not like the show one.
Roseanne is team member, but if you are the team where you're the only one, it's going to be you.
Okay, well then, okay, never mind then. I just don't want to do a bad job. I don't know if I can fully give what it requires.
I want to point out, we're not trying for perfection, ladies. We are doing the best we can to keep this group going, because if we don't do it, there's no other group. If today, I decided, and Shanice decided, okay, we're just tired of this, and didn't try to push to coordinate having this event, it would be it. And we need to have team members that hold us accountable to keep going. And this is what you're going to be on, a team that's going to say, hey, Mala, wasn't it a meeting supposed to start at 5? Like, start up the meeting. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to support each other. So if you take on the role of treasurer, Christine, and you're having any difficulty, someone is willing to step in and assist you. Roseanne, if you take on the job of secretary, I said treasurer to Christine, and Roseanne, if you take on the job of secretary and you can't because of work or life obligations fulfill your duties, there will be somebody willing to step in. We just have to. Okay. All right. So we have president, vice president, persons, the student liaison officer. I feel like we're leaving off somebody. Fundraising coordinator at the bottom, please, people. I need somebody in fundraising. There must be one of the 3 of us here that have some fundraising experience. we're going to continue with some of the introductions. So Lacey Morris, right?
Hi, everyone. My name is Lacey. I graduated in 2005, I think. Yes, 2005.
Where are you based, Lacey?
I'm in the US, but my heart is still in Jamaica.
Any insights on any of the teams?
Honestly, this is my first meeting, so I'm just kind of laying low until I understand exactly what all of this is about.
All right, so we look forward to having you participate more lately. So please keep on, give us feedback via email or through our social media whenever. How did you get the invitation to the meeting?
Shanice invited me. Hi, Shanice.
Okay, wonderful. And believe me, ladies, this is the best way, like, get your group involved. It's what would help a lot. All right. So
did you see Natalie Walker for secretary?
Natalie, okay, we'll add that in. Yes. Roseanne would
I'm sorry, this was very self-serving.
Put me to the chance. Thank you. All right, so for all the persons that are here for your first time meeting, let's talk about what we did for the past 2020, 2021, because it really feels like a roller coaster. Everything happened so fast. Firstly, we started in 2020 in the heights of the pandemic, one in the summer. I should have had this nice and neatly put out in a cute presentation. However, I ran out of time. However, that first meeting we had was a success because we had over 80 alums. At the time when Zoom fatigue had not gotten in, we were able to draw the attention of persons, and I think we got way over 50 participants on that meeting. And for Shanice and I, we recall that was like glory days of having a Zoom meeting. And basically, we have high hopes for the group. A lot of persons, and the current executive was formed from persons answering our Google forms and volunteering to be on the executive and joining some subsequent meetings for the executive. And I've been very grateful for our team of executive members who tolerate the constant emails and the WhatsApps and trying to get through. So our first big activity that we did as an alumni group for 2020, we coordinated the Spirit Week social media rollout. And if you follow our Instagram page, I would encourage you. The Instagram page is run almost exclusively by this current executive, and the Instagram page had a whole rollout of activities that we participated in conjunction with St. Hilda's for their annual Spirit Week. In the feast week of St. Hilda's, we were able to attend the church service in person. We were able to do posts of or remember the days and all of those type of activities. So please, I would suggest anybody who knows how to access Instagram, go onto our Instagram page, St. Hilda's Alums on Instagram. Please check us out and follow us. After that, we went right into Christmas promotions. On our Instagram page, we do promote a lot of our alums that have businesses that promote their products so that they can get more support in the community and publicize in the community. And that is part of our outreach and fundraising too, because we reach out to them, they in turn get more exposure, and then we get support from the business community that are alums. So it's very important for us to keep those going in the upcoming months. Moving in terms of time, we went into the new year, and in the new year, with school starting back and the new reality, we started the in conjunction with the New York and Florida chapter, we were able to funnel a large donation into the school to help with phone cards and tablet purchase, and we had handover of those items. And at the start of the new year, we also sponsored some students. So we opened our platform or login page that is on the Instagram link, which is our Google form, that we made it accessible that current students can also register on there. So it's not only graduates. We want to encourage current students to also start engaging with us. And we realize that through social media, we can reach the younger groups. So we're hoping that we can have some fresh blood in the exec, persons that are not pushing 40 like me, who know how to use TikTok, so we can try the other ends. Maybe we can have a St. Hilda's alum Instagram page. TikTok page coming up soon. Moving on down, our outreach towards the school increased with our participation in two major events for the students. One being their careers week. Their careers week for 5th and 6th form students. Their careers week for 5th and 6th form students. We were able to provide speakers, all alum speakers, for their 4 days of career talks. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think this might be the first in the history of St. Hilda's that they were able to have their career week totally being alum members. And this is part of the outreach. That's why we need persons from all over. One day the presenters were from Canada, in somewhere in Europe, in the US. We didn't have any presenters from Jamaica on that day, and we had the coordinator was somebody in Jamaica who just thank God through technology, we're able through WhatsApp to reach out to these persons, line them up for the Zoom meeting, and they were able to expose the students to that. Then we had another exposure with the 3rd form career week also. We coordinated and fulfilled those again with all alums as presenters. I know the ladies didn't get any male presenters there. It was all girl power. Christine, go ahead. Your hand is up.
I'm just saying that Yannick says that the host, which is you,
yes,
you're not allowing her to participate. You have to unmute her or something.
Okay, no problem. All right, so I'm going to do that. All right, thank Christine. I think I had, Yannick might go to the room right now. Okay, Yannick fell out of the room. When she comes back in, I'll admit her. Let me see. Doesn't pop up as yet. Okay. All right then. So we were able to expose the 4th and the 5th form and the 6th form students to the Alumni Association, and the 3rd form students to the Alumni Association. So we have not gotten to have an opportunity to the entire student body as yet. And then coming down, we were able to elect in June our Caitlin as a member of the school board to represent the students or the past students. So it was very good that we have Caitlin elected, and we look forward to Caitlin representing in the school board. That's Caitlin Williams Beecher representing in the school board meetings coming up. And then we had Spirit Week again this November, and through our planning committee in the exec, we were the one that actually came up with the theme for the entire school Spirit Week. So we actually came up with the plan, modeled after what the school did last year, and Kadeen did a lovely type up of everything, and Shanice and Roseanne and was in the meeting also with the suggestions from our two meetings prior. We were able to get all the information together, and we basically gave our suggestions to the school, and we did promotional items, social media items, and that was basically School Spirit Week was under our theme. However, we need to work on the liaison with the school because unfortunately the school didn't share the items that were done in the school with us because of coordination gaps. But we were able to see on social media they use the same information that we had been putting out there. So it's for those who in my year in 99 we didn't have Spirit Week. So this is something that has been going on for I guess the last within the last 10 years that they have or maybe 5 years that they have Spirit Week in every end of November. And it coordinates very well with us because that would carry us into the season of our meetings that we in November within the Feast of St. Hilda, which is about the second week of November. There will be a whole heap of activities. There would be the church service, and then we would have a meeting of the group every year. So that's a rundown of basically the past 2 years and our work. Of course, in that time, Shanice multiplied and managed all of this work while bringing forth life. So congrats to Shanice and her healthy delivery in February. Don't please tell me I have the right month, Shanice, in the chat. But so far, everybody has been working through life challenges, and that's what I want to encourage person. In the group, this group is very flexible and willing to accept you. Any contribution at all, it helps. All right.
Hello?
Caitlin, how we have on the list?
Oh, the list? So nominations for president/vice president include yourself, Marla Benton, myself, Caitlin Williams Beecher, and Nelsa English Johnson was just nominated and seconded. For secretary, we have Roseanne Breckenridge Pickett and Natalie Walker. Treasurer, assistant treasurer, Christine Walcott. For PRO, we have Rakisha Newby and Nillian Scott, and then Carlene will be on the team. Student liaison officer, we have myself and Kadeen Henry, and we still await nominations or volunteers for fundraising coordinator.
Excuse me, ladies. Carlene Allison, I think she said that she wanted to be a part of the fundraising coordinator.
Fundraising. Oh, okay.
She typed it in the chat.
Stacy and Blair, you can work in any team from abroad. Caitlin worked with a lot of teams working from Canada. Carlene Allison is in the US right now. We have got a lot of help from Jacqueline McNish Goff, and she is in the US also. So definitely. It's a plus if you have WhatsApp, but even if it's only via email, we can communicate. We would welcome any assistance. All right, so Stacy and Blair will just put her on fundraising coordinator team with Carleen. So she's on a team that she can work from overseas. Stacy and Blair. All right. So I am so grateful for all of the volunteers and persons that have put up themselves to do work. So Nelsa is on the list, and I want to hear from, since she wants to be president, to tell us what she thinks she can do with the post. Nelson, can you hear? If you can unmute, please.
So Mala, this is the new exec.
Any questions, comments? Ready?
Well, I was hoping I could hear from Nelson, so we could. I see basically we just, based on nominations, we don't even have to do voting at this point. You can move me down to treasurer so I can take care of Christine. And we leave. You see, I'm trying. Oh gosh. But Nelson, the thing is that I don't hear Nelson answering. So I don't know if Nelson know what to get in.
You can still help Christine from the president's position. I'm just saying.
I heard you. Okay, so based on that, we're going to say I'm president and we have two vice president, Caitlin and Nelson.
We can work with that.
Okay. Did I hear from Nelsa? I'm still not sure if I heard Nelsa.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything in the chat either.
I hear some background speaking, but I don't know who it is.
It was probably mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's gone now.
All right, so team, at this point, we're going to use raising of hands. All right, raising of hands. If you can all raise your hands if you are okay with the listing that is there.
Hello, Mala.
Yes.
This is Lacey.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead, Lacey.
Hello, Kadeen. I'd like to attempt to work with Kadeen in the student liaison, on the student liaison team.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Lacey, can we add her in with the student liaison? Yes. Caitlin, I'm here trying to roll your screen and I can't move your screen at all. So yes. So if you can just read it from top to bottom, or bottom to top, whichever way, what we have here so far.
Excuse me, ladies, just before you do that, the young lady Unique, she was serving in the exec body.
Yes.
She's been trying to speak in the chat and she left, and I saw she was communicating in the WhatsApp group. I believe she feels as if she was being ignored or something like that.
Oh. No, she was not. I'll speak to her. I just didn't look on my phone. I'm going to speak with her right now and see which position she'd like before we finish, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Newbie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so in the meanwhile, just go ahead and read through the list, Caitlin. I'm going to call yeah.
Okay. So under President/Vice President, we have Marla Benton, Caitlin Williams Beecher, Nelsa English Johnson, Secretary, Assistant Secretary, Roseanne Breckenridge Pickett, Natalie Walker, Treasurer, Assistant Treasurer, Christine Walcott, PRO, Rakisha Newby and Nelian Scott, Student Liaison Officer, Kadeen Henry, Lacey Morris Wright, and Fundraising Coordinating Team, we have Carleen Allison and Stacey Ann Blair.
Hi, good afternoon, my Purple Sisters. This is Nelsa.
Hi, Nelsa.
I had to step away from my PC for a while, but I noticed that in my absence, my name somehow got on the list.
You were nominated and seconded in very quick succession.
But how is that to be done without my presence?
We were trying to get you. So we just had you on the ballot until we heard what you have to say. So at least when you came back, you would see it.
Okay. Whilst I am, really flattered in the confidence that my sister is having me, at this time my plate is really full. Just launched a new project, and so you know how that goes when you start a new project. So I really would not be able to do justice. But in the background, I'll help, but not to take on any leadership role at this moment in time.
Okay. Any one of the other areas you see where you could help out? Just asking.
Like assistant treasurer, not because I'm the grandmother of the group. Nobody wants to work with me.
Boy, Christine, I'm a straight scientist. I don't think I'd be of much help to you there. Let's see what's there. Perhaps I could help out with the PRO, the media stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll bring you down to the PRO team.
Sure.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Caitlin?
Yes.
Okay, so with 3 persons on the PRO, can you put team beside my name, please?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Sure, not a problem. I did the same thing for fundraising, so I can do it for the PRO team.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think the word team is less intimidating than PRO or fundraising coordinator.
Yeah, can we call some of these teams? Because I would like to co-share or to co-do whatever it is that I'm doing.
Roseanne, it's
I think
just
both of us
co-share the responsibility.
Yes, I totally agree.
I think both of us want to actually assist with the roles. I think that
You
works.
just assist each other. Okay.
So welcome to the new members that just got into the meeting. I see a few people fell off and a few people got in. I've sent, for those concerned about Yannick is going to tag on any committee she'd like to be on. Because of technical difficulties, she was not able to get in. I am waiting on her response. She was not, I basically did the setting, everybody could unmute themselves. As I said, I'm limited by my device. I have a Chromebook. It just only allows me to do certain settings, and I didn't try to block anybody. Wasn't intentional. I can't block anybody actually. Only thing it is sharing. Only one person can share at a time, and see Caitlin is sharing, and I even not enabled that person's could share. So I'm sorry about that mix up, but definitely Yannick is a valid member of the team and can join in any committee of her choosing when we get back, when we have feedback. So we're all willing to get extra help. So did I see Nelson switch to
a lot of
Nelson
things
switch
happened while we left. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm like, let's be a Caitlin now. What's happening? All right, continue. Give me the update.
Yes.
I'm gonna mute and hear the update.
Yeah, Nelsa returned to see her name on the ballot. So she asked to be put down to PRO team. Her plate is a bit full right now, so to take on presidential responsibilities would not be feasible for her at this point. And yeah. So we have a few teams here now. Christine is still looking for a second in her category.
Is Yannick open to join my group? Maybe we could ask her that.
I'm going to ask Yannick that right now. I'm going to send her a note and ask her that right now. Okay, everyone, I'm still not getting through to Yannick, but as I said, the persons that are working on as a treasurer would definitely work very close with me because currently I'm a name on the bank account, so you would have support from me in the presidential role. All right, so we have a nice team. So Caitlin, let's go and read through, and then if there's any objections, I see so far Nellian said she's stepping out, but she's on the list already. Yeah. Also Carlene Allison had to step out to work, but
Right. She's on the
everything looks
fundraising.
so let's yes. All right, so we can read through the list one more time, and by raising of hands, we just agree to the list. Anybody who has a problem, you would have to air it out in the chats. And absence or raising of hand is just abstaining at this point. But I would look forward to seeing all hands raised. All right. So in the role of president slash vice president, we have Marla and Caitlin. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Raise your hand to say you have no objection. Exactly. In secretary and assistant secretary or the secretary team, we have Roseanne and Natalie Walker. And treasurer, we have Christine Walcott. PRO activities team, Rakisha Newby, Nelly Ann Scott, and Nelsa English Johnson. And student liaison officers, scroll scale. All right. Katie Henry and Lacey Morris Wright. And on our fundraising coordinating team, which is based abroad. So we know they're going to bring big money ideas, Carlene Allison and Stacey and Blair. All right, I see a message coming up in the chats. All right, so we're going to do raise hands. All right. Let me see. Everybody can go. I go yes. Everybody can raise their hand if possible. For me, I have a yes, I don't know, a yes and a no. Do you guys see that as an option when you look on the participants, a yes and a no? I'm seeing raised hands. Hands coming down. If you keep your raised hand, I think I will raise her hand and drop it. But I'm actually doing a count because this is official. All right, so out of our 19 participants, we have 11 raised hands. So I believe the motion has passed with majority at this time. Well, do we still have somebody? Is there anybody that can second that count, Roseanne?
Yes, I do see. Well, I thought I saw 10 plus yours, but now I feel like one just went away. Let me recount.
I have 10 plus Marla.
Right. So I do have that too. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
which is the majority from what I'm seeing here.
Yes. All right, so with majority rule that passes. So our current exec is on the screen right now. Our current exec will be that on the screen right now. All right. So
Mala, someone had asked earlier about paying dues. I know that's something that maybe you want to just raise before you close out.
okay. All right. So since I didn't get out of the hot seat, and I'm going to be under my purview, treasurer and president role. As far as dues go, we'll be rolling out the new format of collective dues starting December 15th. I'm going to go midway into Christmas because then we'll try to see if we can get persons notified starting on December 15th. I'm setting that date because that's giving me a little window for me and my treasurer team and my senior members to try to decide how we're going to go forward, because we had the option of probably joining with the Jamaica Association of Past Students, and they have a platform where we can collect funds, and then they can help us to get registered so that we can get our own account under our name, and that way we wouldn't have to use our outgoing past president's account and my name on the account, which we have an actual St. Hilda's alums account. So we're really looking forward to being able to modify the due situation within the next 2 weeks. So start going forward, we're going to just reset, pause, and then look out for notifications. So we do have a system to reach out to you. So in terms of dues, we'll be reaching out to you, especially those that attended meeting day. Any other questions, Christine? Okay. Yes, I like that, Michaela. The dues are generally used. 500 out of it goes towards the school phone card program, the guidance department, and the rest of it helps to fund these meetings and activities that help to support the school. For example, us maintaining an active Zoom account is something that is very helpful for when we're having interactions with the students and having to have multiple members join us. I think we didn't have a paid account the last time, and we couldn't get in more than 100 students to participate in our presentations before. It also helps us when we're reaching out to school in case of supporting students that are not doing well. Even just having everything, there's no such thing as a free service. Everything takes money and time, and some things we have subscribed to. So it helps us to do these things, and all of the funds, all the expenditures are accounted for. Really, as an alum association, it doesn't make any sense we're just present and we can't offer anything to the school. And that's what the funds help us to do, to be able to reach out and offer something. For example, in Spirit Week, if they gave out a prize to the students, the alum could sponsor it, and therefore they could look towards us for sponsorship. Of course, everything is non-profit, so all the work that we do is voluntary. We don't get paid on the exec for our work. It's all voluntary. Questions? All right, am I losing track of time? What time is it? 6:43. So we're still in trying to finish up before 7 p.m. And we said we are going to try to give the schools one more try. but I think maybe I could try to load a version that's better. In the meantime, let me see. Jody Dill mentioned in the Google form she wanted to be part of the PRO. Please confirm with her. Okay, Jody, you just joined the meeting, or you missed some of the, or you just came in a while ago. Jody, if you can speak for yourself.
Good evening, everyone. I just came in about 5 minutes ago.
Are you still interested in being on the PRO team?
Yes, I am. Are you hearing
All
me
right.
well?
Yes, hearing you well. I've just been muting, unmuting. So
Okay,
we're
no
adding you to
problem.
the list at this time. And
Okay.
yes, we just did a general confirmation of the list right as you came into the meeting, actually, with the raising of hands. And
Okay,
majority
no
confirmed the
problem.
list.
Okay. Thanks for the update.
There was a question about sponsoring students. Did you see that one, Mala?
Oh, yes, I actually just asked that question. I wasn't even sure if I could have unmuted my mic. But somebody had mentioned that, so I just wanted to, I think, get some clarification on it. Can you hear me?
Yes, heard you clearly. That question came from which
This is
person asked?
This is Michaelia.
Michaelia. All
Right.
right. What year did you graduate?
2014.
2014. Thank you, Michaelia, for that question. So in terms of sponsorship of the students, we have not actually developed a scholarship program as yet. We have not had a major fundraising activity as yet to create a sponsorship of a student. However, we've been working closely with the guidance department, where we did help the Florida and New York chapters administer their tablet donation and also phone card purchase to help with online learning. Now that we're going back into face-to-face, if somebody would like to join the fundraising committee, which would help to establish something that we could do for the fundraising, maybe sponsoring students.
Okay, well, thanks
don't know if that
for
answers the
that.
question.
Yes, you just mentioned though that we have some chapters across other regions or let's just say worldwide. Is it a case where this is the Kingston chapter, or this is the general alumni, and then we have, you know, branches based on the market or based on, you know, where persons are based?
Of Shanice, I don't know if you can unmute and address this one, because I consider us the Jamaica chapter that takes persons worldwide. So you can join the Jamaica chapter and be active in the Jamaica chapter. We don't limit you in this committee by your geographical location. We have persons that are based in the US, based in the UK, based in Canada, that are on the committee currently and previously. There is a New York chapter and a Florida chapter that has I would say different generations of members, that was very active, that is very active in Florida and New York, and they liaison with us when coordinating activities in Jamaica, but they do have their activities locally in the New York sphere and in the Florida sphere or South Florida sphere.
Okay, all right. So it's, I mean, we're essentially all for the same purpose, but it might not necessarily be the same. Well, you term it as chapters, so there's no overarching group. However, we all support each other and act independently.
I wouldn't say, well, we support each other definitely and act, I guess we would say act independently, but if the school reaches out to the association in Jamaica, it usually is directly, we're much closer, obviously, because most of our
Right.
members are in Jamaica, to be able to reach out to them. And they do recognize our group as the group that elects the representative for the school board. So we
Mhm.
are the primary group.
Okay.
So I would say that much.
All right, thanks. Just one more thing. You had mentioned that you're working on the logistics for paying dues, but did you say how much the dues were? Or can you repeat? I didn't hear that one.
Yes, the dues are 2,500 a year, or no,
Okay.
I think it's 2,500 a year with 500 going towards the guidance department. And then there's a different fee for retired persons, and then there's a different fee for students. So I think it's actually, I'm misquoting. It's $2,000. Sorry, 2,000 flat for Jamaican dollars or the U.S. equivalent, and or Canadian equivalent or UK equivalent, and
Mhm.
$1,000 for students or retired persons.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I was asking Shanice if she could confirm our role as the exec, as the Jamaica chapter versus the Florida and New York chapters, and if she could back me up on the dues thing. However, my mind is running mile a minute right now, and I don't have those details on the tip of my tongue right now. If Shanice is able to speak. And if we have any other questions, please do point out. You put your questions in the chats or unmute yourself and speak.
Ladies,
Malo?
Caitlin, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Um, how often are meetings held?
Well, for now, what we're going to have to do is revamp how often meetings are, because with COVID and everything and getting used to online, we weren't having as many meetings as we usually had or when it was face to face. So that's something as an exec we'll have to discuss. We'll have to discuss and work out again. We did try to have a few meetings. I think we did maybe 2 or so between last year and now, or 3. So maybe for now we're looking at maybe at least 1 meeting every quarter. So that would be 1 every 3 months. So maybe 4 for the year at least, just to keep us all together, and then maybe try to work out some in between activities depending on how restrictions allow us to work. But for now, possibly 1 general meeting or so each quarter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But once we discuss as the new exec and everything, we can put that out there. So thanks for that question.
You're welcome.
If it's basically 5 minutes to 7 now, I don't think there is much else to cover because the basic essence of this evening was to really do the nominations and the votings for the new executive. So congratulations. Oh, Michaela, how soon will we know the plans for 2022? Well, as soon as the exec gets to meet and we finalize some basic plans for 2022, we will assign the secretary to post out to everybody via email. So just make sure that we have your email addresses. So for those of you who are new, if you got the invitation from someone else to join, I think you had to put in your email addresses for registration. So we'll add you to the database, because what we've been doing is we have a registration link and persons have been, you know, registering, giving their information. So we have your email addresses, we have the WhatsApp group. So we'll be sending out all the notifications through those platforms. So as soon as the new executive meets, which we have established today, then from there we can determine what 2022 will look like and we let the larger body know. Okay. Awesome. So if nobody else has any questions at the moment, I think now would be a good time for us to, you know, call the meeting to a close. If there are any other questions that come to mind, feel free to put them in the WhatsApp group, or if you don't want to put it out there, you can always WhatsApp any one of us individually. We'll also send out via email and possibly in the WhatsApp group as well who the new executive members are for 2021, 2022. And so you can always reach out to any of those because we will discuss and finalize everything in our exec meeting when we have that. So without further ado, okay, Mala, have you anything else to say?
I second everything you're saying, Caitlin, and just want to point out for those concerned about Yannick, she's okay. We discussed the technical difficulties and she's not interested in any committee positions at this time. But that's new thing, and I would say I would second. Oh, those who don't have access to the WhatsApp group, I think just as a I would try and send a link to the WhatsApp group. Does everybody in the group here have WhatsApp?
Yes.
The thing is that in the chat right now, if you I think I can send the link for the WhatsApp group right now. All right, and then we will. Caitlin, should I send the Way Forward or the St. Hilda's alums? Which group should I send?
St. Hilda's Jamaica chapter.
All right, then I'm going to send the link for that.
Yeah.
Right now in the chat. So people look at the link is coming. Copy. Have okay. It's type the message here. Wait, all right, and
I think I found the link.
Okay, there is the link right there. Oh no, this didn't go to everyone. I think I just sent it to Nels.
Yeah, I think I just sent it to everyone in the chat. So
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's the same one.
It's the same one.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes. So everybody, if you just click that, you'd automatically link. And when you join the group, you'll see the link available in the information bar for the group, and you can share the WhatsApp chat link with other persons that have graduated from St. Hilda's. All right, thank you so much, everyone. And I second ending the meeting at this time.
All right.
Thanks. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a night. Have a good night, everyone, and a blessed week.
All right.
Good night, Purple
Take care.
Sisters. Take care.
All right, so everyone try to click that link in the chat, the WhatsApp. And if you have any problems, just send an email to St. Hilda's alums@gmail.com and we can address it. We can help you out if you're not able to send us an email, St. Hilda's alums@gmail.com.